I'd say the main practice for me has been Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga is it's a combination of like breath work and poses and mantras, sometimes a little bit of movement, things like that. At times it's really quite difficult. Sometimes you'll like be holding like a pose like this, and you have to hold this for like 11 minutes, and then it's you really want to give up, and you're pushing yourself. It involves things like cold showers and things like that. So it's a way to cultivate strength. And it also helps to bring our consciousness into very altered states because of the breath work and all of that. And the altered states I find really powerful, because if I'm tackling the day and I start with Kundalini yoga, it's almost like I shoot up 10,000 feet into the air. And then all the things that are happening, I can kind of like, I'm like an eagle flying above, and I can dive into them, as opposed to being like down in the mud or like with the fray. So I found that to be a really helpful practice to get that spiritual power, in a sense, to get the ability to stomach, the ability to keep my heart open, the ability to maintain a clear mind, maintain pure thoughts, so that I'm really with what is, and I have a lot of personal power to do good in my environment, in my day. Another practice that's really powerful is meditation. And meditation is very simple, really. It's not like you have to sit for an hour and have a very specific intention or something like that. Meditation is as simple as, basically noticing like, I've got this feeling in my body, and just like sitting with it, breathing, and like just feeling. So it's shifting from thinking to feeling. It's basically like, rather than thinking about things, it's just like, let me just feel it. And it's feeling in a way where we're not trying to give any meaning to things. We're literally just feeling them for the sake of allowing them to dissipate. And that's a technique that I learned in vipassana, actually. It's like 10 days meditating 12 hours a day. And the technique is basically exactly that. It's awareness. So awareness of body sensations, being very much with them, and also awareness of the subtle sensations. So going deeper and deeper and deeper. And then a word that they use called equanimity. Equanimity, it's like a neutrality. It's like non-attachment, non-craving, non-judgment, just being with it as it is, without needing to change anything about it, without really having any kind of thought about it, just very much awareness. So, someone who wants to have a very strong meditation practice, doing a vipassana, 10-day vipassana is, I think, the best way to have a really solid practice then that doesn't have to be a whole lot. It brought me to a place where when I do sit, I can go very far with that. I think keeping an open heart is a practice. It's a practice that takes practice. It's there's so many ways and so many reasons why we close our hearts. And the funny thing about an open heart is that it's always better to have an open heart, no matter what's going on, no matter how we feel. An open heart will always make things better. And that's what I find very beautiful about it. Movement. So yeah, there's these practices like 5 rhythms, ecstatic dance, movement medicine, all sorts of different practices, where basically you're just dancing, moving your body, and the rhythm goes through a specific cycle. And it's very powerful when we start to use our body as a vessel for introspection, for it's like for journeying. Literally, it's like you can journey the same way that you would do a shamanic journey, like how people would like use a drum and go into the cave and meet their spirit animals and all of that. You can basically have a whole journey with your body and with movement, and following the rhythm and the music and the sound. Sometimes you'll start crying. Sometimes you'll have moments of just great joy on the dance floor. Sometimes you'll have connection with others. Sometimes it's a process with yourself. So movement has also been a very important spiritual practice for me, among many others.